They said he had become more political in recent years. Now, how did that happen? What did he do in recent years? He went to college. Guess what college does? It radicalizes young people. I don't know what happened to this particular man, but that is what college does. You know, we had Bill Ackman on this program talking about what happened to his daughter who went to Harvard and where they turned her into a Marxist, socialist, communist, which he was still trying to unwind. This is a liberal New York billionaire. That's what Harvard does to your kid. It's just, look, I don't know what happened to this kid at the university. I'm just saying, if we want to talk about circumstantial evidence on radicalization, there's zero for this kid being MAGA or a Republican or in any way in favor of Donald Trump. There's plenty of him hating Donald Trump. People are like, oh, you know, he was just a gamer. The fact that he wrote these things on the bullets just show he was nothing but a gamer. Yeah, okay, you missed the part where, again, he wrote them on bullets with which he shot Charlie Kirk. Fuck these people and their revisionism, their unwillingness to see what's obvious. Clearly, he had hatred in his heart for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is the one who got executed. Charlie Kirk, he did not go out and shoot a member of the squad. It's just, how do we reason with these people? It's like it's right there in front of your face. This kid got radicalized and obviously had some sort of a psychotic break. That's the other piece of it. How many times do we have to see this shit? Like, I'm not surprised one bit to learn he was 22, not even a little, that he was a young man. We've seen this happen over and over. I am disturbed to see he appears to have come from a loving, intact family. And just by disturbed, I mean, were there any warning signs? You know, usually you look at like the background and you see something, you see a repeated mental health history. And to be honest, maybe there will be one. And I'm not ruling out, oh God, there was that time he killed the family cat. You know, that can still come out. Who knows? But if you look at the family social media profile, it looks like a happy family. It looks like a loving mom and a loving dad. He had 2 younger brothers. There's lots of family photos of them going on vacation and having family dinners. It's just fucking disturbing. Sorry, with the potty mouth. I'm just like so frustrated. And so, you know, it's like, what happened to him? That's really the question. What happened? Here he is with a family dog, maybe on a camping trip of some sort, outside in nature. And then there was a video that's really interesting to me. And now I'm going to say something controversial, but I'm going to say it. There's a video of him when he got a scholarship into college. He did not go to this college. He got a scholarship to Utah State, where he did wind up going. This was Utah Valley, was a different university in Utah where he shot Charlie, according to police. But he got a scholarship. And he did a little video, and I just want you to watch it.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
Okay. We need to recut that and let it play out because it goes on for another second or two. And we clipped it because the part that I'm interested in is the end.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
You can hear his mom, I think, going, woo, like a mom would. And then you see this odd, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, looking very uncomfortable, like awkward, not uncomfortable, but awkward. And then he too goes, woo, in a strange way. And I am just going to guess that this kid is someplace on the spectrum. He had a perfect 4.0. He aced the ACTs, according to his mother online, and there is such an intense awkwardness about him. I'm just going to guess he had some neurodivergence issues. Now, that doesn't make you a shooter. I have somebody in my own family who I absolutely adore and love and am very close to who has pretty significant issues in this realm. And I've numerous times called out people who jump right to, oh, from the spectrum to violence. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's just an observation about this kid maybe having had some challenges, and there'll be more to his story. So I await more to that story. He seems very off to me in this clip. And he appears to have taken the scholarship because he did go, we're told, to Utah State, but Michael Schellenberger was reporting that, Daily Mail, that he enrolled at Utah State for one semester in 2021, but then elsewhere online, they've dated that clip as 2022 when he received word of the scholarship. So I don't know what the truth is, but the Daily Mail is saying that Utah State said he enrolled for one semester in 2021, though that clip shows he had an 8-semester scholarship. An 8-semester. So what happened? Did he make it in college? Did he complete 4 years of college? And if he only went for one semester, why? What happened? The police said that when he was arrested, I believe, at his home, or at least that he was at home when this all went down last night. They described it in the Daily Mail as a $600,000 home with 6 bedrooms in Washington, Utah, which is 260 miles south of where Charlie was assassinated in Orem, Utah. Now, this is just coming in, more information from the New York Post. The Tyler Robinson, accused assassin of Charlie, threatened to kill himself rather than surrender to authorities. Oh, okay, hold on a second. Before I get to this, I'm just going to set up what happened. Okay, no, that's in here. So the father recognized his 22-year-old son from the photos of the suspected shooter that were released from the authorities on Thursday. That led the father to confront his son when he returned home to the house, according to sources. This is in the New York Post, and it dovetails perfectly with what Trump revealed on Fox and Friends, which was more, by the way. Trump said to Fox and Friends that there was a pastor, a family pastor, who called authorities, who called some law enforcement official and told them that a father had recognized his own son in these photos. And indeed, that turned out to be true, though at the presser, they did not mention the family minister. I think they just said the father contacted law enforcement. But now here, the New York Post coloring this in a bit more, and I think CNN had this reporting as well, that the father recognized his 22-year-old son from the photos of the suspected shooter. By the way, credit to the FBI and local law enforcement for enhancing those photos to a more usable version and then making the decision to put them out. You know, it was a judgment call they made that it would help advance the search for the killer, and indeed it seems to have done exactly that. They were hoping that somebody would recognize him, that someone would recognize the outfit, that someone would recognize the shape of the jaw, the mouth. And by the way, think about it. Think about the people who are in your life every day, you know, Monday through Friday at the office or Sunday through Saturday at your home. If you saw them in this close-up a photo, like the ones revealed by the FBI over the past day, you'd know. You know your loved ones, but notwithstanding the fact that they're wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses. You know, that's a disguise to a stranger, but not to a loved one. So it was a smart move by Cash and other law enforcement to say, let's put it out there. Let's enhance it so that it's more usable. Because the original versions were very grainy. They enhanced it. AI can be a force for good. And they put it out there. And indeed, now the Post reporting it was the father who recognized his son, this poor dad, that he confronted the son, that the son confessed to the horrific shooting when his dad asked if he pulled the trigger, but originally refused to turn himself in to law enforcement, according to sources. He told his father he would rather kill himself, leading the father to convince his son to speak with their youth minister. Here it is, who also happens to be a U.S. Marshal Service fugitive task force officer. So the son said he would rather kill himself than turn himself in. and the father called their youth minister. The minister then called a deputy with the federal agency. I assume they mean the U.S. Marshal Service. And the FBI took Robinson into custody. And the headline here was, accused Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson threatened to kill himself rather than surrender to authorities after his father confronted him about the sickening murder, according to law enforcement sources. I mean, that poor dad, that poor father, and that poor mother. I couldn't help but notice, I was thinking about the parents of Brian Kohlberger, who also raised an assassin. Now, Brian Kohlberger had a long, long history of severe mental problems. And I don't know what culpability, if any, the family had in unleashing him on the world without paying proper care to those issues. We need to know more about these parents too. In all these shootings, whether it's a mass shooting or it's a assassination like we saw with Charlie, we need to know. We have a right to know the mental history of the shooter. So we'll find out more about him. But while both families raised a killer, it is not, the parents, you have to have some empathy for them because, my God, unlike Kohlberger, however, this family did contact authorities and convince their son to turn himself in. The New York Times now reporting that he's being held without bail. That's not a surprise. That he does not have a criminal record. That he was arrested. The official charges here on suspicion of aggravated murder. That's a special term, aggravated murder. Felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily harm, and obstruction of justice, all felonies, according to an affidavit filed in court. A judge ordered that he be held without bail. Court records indicate he had not been convicted of any crimes in the past. I mean, now one thing to note is he's young, he's 22, and convicted of any crimes. Okay, but has he been arrested? Unclear. And an immediate search would not show you whether he'd been arrested or convicted of a crime as a juvenile. That all gets sealed. So that's another thing we need to know. When inflation jumps, when you hear the national debt is over $37 trillion, do you ever think maybe now would be a good time to buy some gold? Well, you'd be right. Whether as a hedge against inflation, peace of mind during global instability, or just for sensible diversification, Birch Gold Group believes every American should own physical gold. And so they created something special. Until September 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 in free metals on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, request an info kit right now. Just text MK to 989898. Plus, Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you're still eligible for a rebate in free metals of up to $10,000. So make right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before September 30th. Text MK to the number 989898 to claim your eligibility and get your free info kit. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.